It's time to taste the freeze-dried rainbow today on the candy aisle. Hey everyone, Jeff here with another review. A little different this time. We are just looking at some freeze-dried candy that I've already tried before. But Skittles, of course, are kind of this classic freeze-dried phenomenon that people are and have been loving on the internet for a little while now, a few years, I suppose. And I have had these. I had another pack of these earlier, so I have tasted these. But I thought why don't I try them? Now, I do not have a freeze dryer, but my wife was at a conference and she picked these up. So freeze-dried Skittles they're just Skittles. They're like actual regular original Skittles, and they've just been freeze-dried. This was a company, shout out to them, I guess. It was like an emergency something preparedness. I don't know what it is. They're an emergency preparedness company, I guess. And this was like, hey, freeze dries your food. Probably buy something from us. Probably buy a freeze dryer from us is my guess. I don't know. It was like a booth at an expo. Anyway, that's not the point. These are just freeze-dried Skittles. They're just like any freeze-dried Skittles that you could get anywhere. You can buy these at like candy specialty stores. But unless you have a freeze dryer at home, you're probably not encountering these very often. I don't have a freeze dryer at home. I looked up how much freeze dryers are. They're like almost $3,000. Maybe that was Canadian price. I don't know, but like they seemed very expensive. Very briefly. I wasn't like shopping around. I'm not in the market for a freeze dryer. But I will tell you that freeze drying is kind of interesting. It helps preserve food for a longer time. There is literally no need why you would ever need to actually freeze dry candy, especially like a Skittle, which has an incredibly long shelf life anyway. But it is a method to remove, water from food items so that they can last longer. Just briefly, I know my son did a project on the Inca, and the Inca, I guess, were, in the Andes and what was to be Argentina. They invented freeze drying, and they used to freeze dry their potatoes. They would put them into the cold, Argentina. Kind of like Chile's, amazing. It's got all of these amazing ecosystems, all the way from like this like subtropical sort of rainforests up to the high mountains. It's really just staggeringly beautiful. However, up in the Andes, they would do these, they would put the food out and then it would go below freezing overnight. Then it would come back above freezing. Anyway, you quickly freeze, you lower it, and then you pull it out. The point is, it's a low temperature dehydration method that removes water through, sublimation rather than evaporation. That's basically it. So you've removed the water from your food item and it can last longer. That's kind of it. So it's freeze dried. And then it lasts I've heard that this has a shelf life of something like 25 years. So, oh man. So, I was wondering this. I grabbed some scissors so I can get into this, but like if this was an emergency, like if I was all hell had broken loose and I'm like zombie apocalypse hunkered down in my house and I've got this to survive on and I can't get the package open, it's not very good emergency preparedness, is it? Total prepare. Sorry. Okay. It's okay. I have scissors. I guess they just assume, why wouldn't you have scissors? You would. Of course you would. All right. The brand is not important. There's Skittles. That's the important thing. So as you can see, when you freeze dry Skittles, they kind of explode and puff up, and the interior becomes the exterior. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool looking, huh? Freeze drying makes, I will tell you what it generally does to candy and a lot of food. I think it makes the flavors stronger. Maybe it's something to do with condensing the sugars. And with Skittles, it makes them good. Basically takes them from chewy to crunchy. So it's an exploded looking Skittle. Sorry, Skittle escape. And it's like a crunchy. So let's give it a try. Skittles, as I think I said at the beginning, my favorite candy. My actual favorite candy. This one's kind of messed up. Still got a bit of chew to them. Remember, these aren't like off a factory assembly line so far as I know, the good people at Skittles have not yet released a official freeze-dried version of their candy. They probably should. You know what? Like, why not? Yeah, still a little chewy. Oh, but the point was, you know, your mileage may vary on, like, how dry was it? How long did they keep it in for? Because it's not officially made, there's no, like, it's not an assembly line, right? Every time you freeze dry something, it probably comes out a little different. That green one was, like, pretty chewy. But the flavors are great, as usual. Oh, kind of crumbly, powdery almost. I've seen these online in various other reviews. And if you guys are interested in freeze-dried Skittles, I don't know why you wouldn't have already seen it. This is like all over YouTube. I'm, you know, certainly not the first to the game on this. But, okay. I had them. I thought, it's kind of interesting. Every video is someone's first video, guys. Remember that. Anyway, these are great. I mean, they taste like Skittles, only kind of crunchier. Oh, that one, perfecto. Perfectly just crunched right in half. I don't know that I would say the flavors are actually stronger than a regular Skittle, because one of the things I love about Skittles is the flavors are, like, so strong anyway. Like, the fruit flavors just burst in your mouth. That's one of the things I absolutely adore about Skittles. So, these kind of, you know, these kind of have the same sort of flavor profile. It's the texture profile, really, right? But for me, I like them. I don't think I'd get these over regular Skittles. Like, if these were packaged and sitting on the shelf beside Skittles in the store and they were just as accessible, I still don't think I would get these. I think I'd probably prefer regular Skittles still. I like that chew. These ones are okay, the crunchy bits. I don't like the versions of them that are, like, not quite as freeze-dried as they should be. They're not quite as dried as they should be. Just me. Probably personal preference. Like I said, with these sort of product, your mileage may vary. I guess I can give this a review. I can give this a score. Why not? I'll still give it a 5 out of 5 because it's a Skittle. It is not a as good as you know, a regular Originals bag of Skittles. You know, it's just not. But it's an interesting thing to try. I'd recommend it if you can get your hands on them. I know you got to kind of go to specialty candy stores to get them, unless you happen to have a freeze dryer. I guess if you do have a freeze dryer, you've probably already tried these, though. Anyway, that's my take on these. And I'm sticking to it. Have you had these? Have you had freeze-dried Skittles? Do you like them? What do you guys think? Is there other freeze-dried candy that you think is better? I know there's a few candy stores around where I live that does freeze drying. So you can always order freeze-dried basically anything online. Just go on TikTok. There's like on Candy Talk, there's like tons of people who do freeze drying. So anyway, that's my take. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'll catch you all next time. All right. Peace.